Beep, beep. Oh, what is up, ninjas? My name is Emerald. A couple of months ago, one of my students came into our session excited. He was like, yo, Sam, there's this sound in this track and you got to teach me how to make something like it. It turns out, you know, that song was XTC by Solardo and Eli Brown before it came out. Now, the sound they use, I believe, is more of, you know, it pays homage, and it's kind of like a more modern take on the Corgan one, organ sound that you can hear in Show Me Love, that track. Everyone's heard that song. The Eli Brown and Solardo version, a little bit more aggressive, and it's just a different twist to it. Instead of utilizing triangle or sine waves to get more of a resonant mellow vibe, you're gonna get a more aggressive vibe with the square, utilizing the perfect fifth, and we're gonna be talking about that today. Now, the cool thing about this sound is that you can definitely do a lot of different variations to it, and there has been variations done to it where certain songs that use this kind of vibe have made the top 100 Billboard charts here in the US, which is always a good sign. It's a very classic sound, and today I'm gonna be teaching you guys how you guys can also get it and how you can add your own twist to it as well. Cool thing about this sound is a lot of you guys are probably gonna recognize it, and you've probably heard it in your own respective genres like Future House, Don Diablo, vice versa. So we're gonna be doing this inside of Serum, guys, and as always, if you want to support my channel, you can head over to evilsounds.com. You can find a lot of my sound design work there, where I make sound banks for you guys and different styles of musics. I always try to niche it down for you so that when you buy the pack, you know you're getting sounds made specifically for the stuff you are making, not a bunch of random sounds that probably won't make the cut for you. With that being said, let's get straight into this tutorial. Alright guys, and welcome inside of Ableton. Now if you ever do become one of my students and can make it over to my place, that's the chair you use, and I use the beautiful Secret Labs chair, which yes, it's comfortable. I always get people asking me. Now, in order to create the iconic organ vibe, now I'm not going to say we're going to get it exact because it's very hard to get the exact tonalities of sound, especially when you don't know what was used to make it and whatnot, but we can get super close to it, and the idea is that getting close to it enough where you can use it in the same retrospect, but again, it has a different cool vibe. Now there's a couple of things you're going to need, and there's a little bit of extra credit if you want to do this. First thing is you're going to need at least 2 oscillators, and one of them is going to be put +7 semitones, okay? From there, you can choose to use the sub oscillator as your third oscillator. It doesn't have to be used in low frequencies, but you can definitely use it that way if you please to. Okay, once we have this, we're going to get a vibe that sounds something like this. Now, if I put this back to 0, you're going to see what it does. We lose a lot of the harmony. Now, what we're essentially doing with this +7 here, just for the more beginnerish people, is the fact that as I play, let's say A on here, this oscillator is actually playing 7 semitones up, which if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it's playing the 5th note in the A minor scale, which gives us the perfect 5th, or whatever you want to call it, the +7th. But that is the vibe you're going to hear a lot in a lot of songs. Now, this sound, once done properly, like the way we do it, is great for breakdowns. It's also great for your drops. It's great for housey stuff. It's great for pop. Again, you're going to hear it a lot in different places with different variations. But the key thing is always that +7 is the key to it. Now, from here, it's all about layering. Every oscillator you have here, oscillator A, oscillator B, and the sub, is a layer to the sound. So what we're going to do first off here is go more for like the traditional siney version, and then we'll move our way towards the more aggressive, the more modern vibe that Solardo and Solardo and Eli Brown used. The key thing though is that they just use different wavetables, and the sound is a bit more processed than usual. So if I go here, basic shapes, we'll start off with some triangle waves. What I can do, the first thing is layer properly, is layer across my frequency spectrum. So this guy could be +1 octave, as that's what's going to drive the melody forward. And these two guys are going to be more for harmony, as this sound is all based on harmony. So this basic shapes, we're going to put it at -1. This will be at 0, and then this one at +1. Now, the key to this sound is utilizing a filter as well, so you can get rid of some of the upper harmonics that can be introduced if you decide to go with squares. As you're going to see, it's going to give you a similar response either way. Envelope 1, we're going to lower the sustain down, as we're going to be making more of a plucky organ vibe, and we're going to lower the decay down a bit. Now, decay is going to control how plucky, how long the sounds last, so from there, it's all ball game, whatever you want to do. But knowing how to create this sound, just the basics of it, sounds pretty good. What's going to give it that nice polish and that nice vibe is going to be the reverb and the effects you decide to put on your sound as you're creating it. Now, I can also go a little bit crazier, and I could have this one +2 and this one +1, and that gives me a different vibe. not the greatest, so I'll probably put this one back at 0 and this one there. Now, I could definitely go higher up. Okay, so it's sounding like a very cool little sound. Let's just put a little bit of reverb on it and mellow it out a bit, and then just play at the right setting that we need to be at. Now we're gonna put the RM phase down on these guys here, just to make sure that they're always playing at the same spot. Notice how the clicks went away. A lot of times it just depends where the phase starts. When you have these RM phases up, you're allowing the phase, aka the positioning of your triangle, as the triangle plays, it starts to move, to start anywhere. So a lot of times just having them start somewhere similar is good. Just don't inverse the triangle and then have them start in the same spot, because you're gonna get phase cancellation, which is for another video. Okay. From here, we got one of the more basic sounds people use. Now, there are a couple of variations we can do here. The first one is that I can start to do pitch modulation if I want this to sound punchier, which some people do, just depending on what genre you're making. So I could definitely do it here, or I can go into the matrix and program this. So envelope 3 will be going to my master tune. So we're going to go to global master tune. This is going to make it so that the whole all 3 of these guys get pitched and get the punch. So the way this is going to work is we're going to apply a bit of decay, and then we're going to control it from here. And now we're starting to get more of a transient punch to it. That reverb is just a bit too crazy though. Let's lower it down. The difference between this and the Eli Brown sound is simple. Instead of utilizing triangles, we can go with a square instead, which gives us a more aggressive vibe. And then we're going to open it up more. Now, again, variations come in all forms. So what I mean by that is I could go 0 on this guy, 0 on this guy, and it gives me a totally different vibe. And then from here, subtractive synthesis, you're going to control how much of those upper harmonics you really want. I played some few bad notes there, but you kind of get the gist of it. So once we have that, we just need to cue out the lows, obviously. We still want the lows to stay there because it gives sort of like this grit to the sound. But once we get rid of them, it's going to sound like something like this. Now we can lower release more if you want more of a shut off vibe. And again, you can lower decay to make it punchier. Just be careful with the release, as it can create clicks. And if you ever hear a click in your sound as you're making it, that just means something is moving too fast, too abruptly, which is causing it. Now, the cool thing about the sound here now is obviously we can go ahead and process it more to try and get it to sound more similar to that of Eli Brown and Solardo. And you can kind of take it more, you can lower it down. You're not resting and you get a different vibe to it. But again, it's the same concept that we've had. The +7, layering different oscillators together like that. Now, from there, like I said, it's all about processing. If you want a grittier response, experiment with different styles of distortion, maybe reverb behind distortion. You can close your filter up, which gives you a cool response. Now, the other thing too about the sound is it also sounds like they sampled a one shot and process it heavily. So that could also be another possibility, as this sound sounds too clean compared to what they have. But again, there are so many variables that come into play when creating sounds and when trying to kind of recreate sounds people have, to the point where it's more like, for me, teaching you guys the basics to get that vibe that they have, and then having you guys go from there and doing it in your own way. You don't want the exact sound, because obviously you have a song like that, they're gonna be like, it sounds like Ecstasy by Solardo. But being influenced by it and being able to create those sounds in a similar way that it's more yours is the way to go, in my opinion. And hopefully this video helps you guys do just that. But whatever it may be though, guys, I hope you guys have fun making the music you love. I'm here to teach you guys these techniques, just so that you guys don't go questioning like, how the hell do I get that? And it's more about you guys making the music you want. With that being said, you guys can support me at evilsounds.com, and I'll catch you guys another time. Take care, peace out, and you guys have a great rest of your day.